Hello and welcome to this declutter. This declutter is a little different because today we are going to be focusing on my Lethal Cosmetic singles. And some of these are comprehensive palettes that they sold together kind of in a bundle. Some of them are singles I picked up. They're all over the place. So I've got some like in here with a bunch of other random stuff. I have this palette, which is brand new, which is super gorgeous and unique. But I just have so many of their singles, and I don't use all of them, and I feel like we probably have some duplicates in here as well. So what I want to do is I want to go through and declutter some of them as much as possible. Now, first, I do want to say there are a couple things I'm going to just take out of here. One is the 1-Up palette, which is pretty new. It just came out last year. And it's also very unique. And the pan sizes are a little bit different. So I will not be decluttering anything out of this palette. I'm going to keep it as is. So I'm going to put this one to the side. The other one that I won't be decluttering is this one. This is also a pretty unique palette. I picked the shades myself. Most of them are duochromes, and then there's a few other charity shades, which are super cool. But this one is super unique as well. You can kind of see you can see the shift in this one, which is cool. This is also very expensive. These multi-chromes were not cheap, so we will be keeping this one and just putting this one to the side as well. The Jolena palette, we are going to attempt to depot, I think. But it's also kind of unique in that the pan sizes are smaller than the rest of the singles, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to depot it. I haven't tried yet. So, yeah, we'll kind of put those to the side and leave it for last. But what I'm going to do is I have these giant palettes from Give Me Glow that just came in. They're gorgeous. And I'm going to basically take everything out and put it all in this palette and kind of arrange it by color, and we're going to go from there. So yeah, let's get started. I suggest grabbing a drink and just hanging back and relaxing. This is definitely going to be a more low-key declutter. Okay, depotting is a messy business. Ultimately, I decided not to depot the Jolena palette just because I do like it the way it is. It's pretty cohesive, and again, the pan sizes are different. So I'm going to leave this one as is, and we are going to take a look at what we have here. Now, I'm not planning on swatching everything. I may swatch a few things, but I think we can tell right off the bat that we have some items that look very, very similar. And we probably don't need both of them. And they might even be the exact same shade. We don't know. We'll find out though. So I think let's start with greens. I think greens, purples, there's quite a few duplicates. So let's take a look at these. Let's see if any of these are actually the same shade. This one, some of them don't have names, unfortunately. So I don't think actually we're going to be able to tell if they're the exact same. This one does. This is Yonder. Like, these are very similar. I don't think they're the exact same, but very similar. Same with these two. I'm pretty sure I fell in love with this color, Equilibrium, and got it a bunch of times. Yep, Equilibrium and Equilibrium. Great. Okay. I'm going to move some of these over a little bit. I'm trying not to put my fingers in them. I don't know how people do stuff with long nails, but I was feeling like I was in a long nail mood, and here we are. Okay, so we are going to declutter these two. I don't need multiple of the same shades, so these two we definitely don't need. These two are pretty similar. I don't think they're the same. We've got Venom. And let's see if this one has a name. And this is Mirage. So these are different. So let's swatch them real fast. Oof. Venom. And then Mirage. So one is a little more teal. I mean, they're different enough. I think I'll probably keep both of them. Let's see what this one is. Ariel. Let's give you a swatch. Okay, and that's definitely more blue. So they're all very pretty. Now green is going to be a hard category for me because I love green. So we're going to, I think, you know what? I'm trying to be good. I think we are going to declutter Mirage. I don't think we need that one. So we're going to keep these two. Even though it's pretty, I think we have enough options here. Mattes, it doesn't look like I have too many mattes that look the same. I can tell you right, I can tell you right now, this is a duochrome or multichrome, and this is Exosphere. So we're gonna leave that one. I don't know, the rest of the greens kind of look okay to me. I don't think we need these two though. It's like a brownie grungy green, and then we have a lighter green. No, you know, they're different. Okay, they're different. Let's take a look at these two though, just really fast. We've got the first one. Yeah, and those are definitely different. We've got more of a sky blue, more of a teal, and to be honest, I can see myself not using the sky blue. So we just have too many. So this one is one without a name, but we are going to be decluttering that one. Oh my gosh, my hair is everywhere, guys. I'm sorry. Pinks, purples, reds, that's kind of what's in this corner. Not a whole lot of overlap. Let's see, this one is Cascade. And this one is Terminus. So definitely not the same. But these two, Echo and Echo. Perfect. So we will be decluttering one Echo. Do I need all three of these? I mean, they're different. Cascade is like a raspberry, but I also feel like Terminus is a raspberry. Okay, I moved you in a little closer so I could see what I was doing. So let's see. That one's definitely a raspberry. This one's more red. And then that is deeper, but these two are very similar. I think I'm going to declutter this one. And this is Terminus. Okay, on to the purples. We have a couple that look like they could be the same. This is Descent. And this is also Descent. So we'll get rid of one of these. Then, let's see. These are similar, but they're definitely not the same. Do we need both of them? You know, this one is very pastel for me. So this one also doesn't have a name, but we're going to declutter that one. All the ones I'm decluttering are in the corner here. Trying to keep them separate. And I think, again, these are some of my favorite colors. The green and purple, it's really hard for me to get rid of any of those. So I think everything else looks good. Let's see. This one is super pretty. This also doesn't have a name. I wonder if it's just the older ones that don't have a name. I'm curious about that, but I think we're good. So we are out of this side, decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are off to a start. Okay, let's start with blue, because I do want to get rid of a couple of the blues. Now, a couple of them look similar. This is Stargaze. And this doesn't have a name, but honestly, I think these might be the same. Let's see. This is No Name. And then we have Stargaze. Yeah, those are definitely the same. So we'll go ahead and declutter the one with the name. I'm going to put it over here with the other ones I'm decluttering. Woo, decluttering is a messy business, guys. And then I was looking at these two over here. This one I like, it's a little more vibrant. This is Surge. But this one is more like a robin's egg blue. Doesn't have a name. This one I don't think I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna add it to the ones I'm getting rid of. Then we have these two matte dark blues. This is Insomnia. And Insomnia. So I'm gonna go ahead. The ones that I'm decluttering, I'm probably gonna list on my Poshmark. and I'll probably end up putting them in one of the palettes. So if you're interested, I think the rest of the blues are pretty good. Let's see, this one doesn't have a name. It's very similar, but I don't think it's the same. So we're gonna just leave these. Actually, you know what? Do we think I'm gonna use Altitude? I don't. I really don't. So we're gonna declutter that one. Oh, I just realized these two look very similar. This doesn't have a name. This one, Recluse. Let's see. This one I feel like is a little more tan. This one's a little bit darker. I'd probably reach for this one more. So we're gonna declutter Recluse. Okay, on to my browns and golds. Let's see, this is more of a pinky one. I'm gonna move it over to the pinks, kind of a salmon. And then let's take a look at some of these browns. These two look pretty similar. Let's see, this is Midway and Midway. We have a lot of duplicates, so I'm gonna get rid of one of those. What is this one? This one is Calcination. That's different, and I do like their mattes quite a bit, so even if they're similar, I don't mind keeping them. But there's some like I don't think I would use. Like this is like a cream color. This is Pilgrim, and I'm going to declutter that one. These two look very similar. So we have Cycle and Cycle. Look at that. So we'll declutter the one that I haven't used. This is what happens when you have a shopping addiction. I've gotten much better, but earlier in my life, it was very hard for me to be rational about my purchases. This one doesn't have a name, but it looks very similar to this one, which is Trespass. So we're gonna declutter this one. This one looks more shiny. I don't know why. It's funny. Yeah, so anyways, I definitely used to have a little bit of a problem, but I'm definitely, you know, when I buy from a brand now that I've bought from before, especially singles, I have a list where I've written down all the colors I have so that we don't run into something like this again, because I don't want to do this again. It's too much. Okay, these two are very similar, but again, I don't mind having similar browns, but let's make sure they're not the same. This is Spawn, and this is Catatonic, so not the same, but let's just swatch them. We'll see if they're like super similar. Okay. Oh wow, that one has a little bit of ruddiness to it. It's pretty, but I do think I'm actually going to declutter it, because I know that's a color that typically doesn't work for me very well. I'm just a very pale person. Sorry, I'm trying to wipe this off my hand at the same time. So let's go ahead. And again, this one is Spawn, so we're going to declutter that one. Are there any others that we think look the same or have cat hairs? This one I don't think I'm going to use, so we're going to declutter this one. Doesn't have a name. I think that's good with the matte browns. Again, there's some that are like similar, but they're definitely not the same. Just curious, what's this one? This one doesn't have a name. No name. Okay, let's get over to this corner. These all look the same. Do we think they're the same? We've got Symbiosis. Yep, it's the same one, Symbiosis. And, oh, look at that. We've got 3 of these. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Okay. Let's get rid of 2 of them. And then these 3 look the same as well. We've got Nymph Nymph, and No Name. Bet you those are the same though. Let's get rid of one of the nymphs. These are good colors, even if they are the same. I can kind of disperse them. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna actually put them all into one big palette. So let's swatch it. Let's see if they're the same. Not exactly the same. I'd say one is a little more goldy. One is like a little more rose goldy. Okay, good to know. And I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. This one also doesn't have a name, but I don't use white. So we're gonna stick you over here. Now, we've definitely pared them down quite a bit. And now let's just kind of take a look, an overall look, and see if there's any additional ones that I just don't need. This one, ephemeral, I don't think I'm going to use, so we are going to put it to the side. I think that's good though. I do. Let's start putting them together. I do kind of want to arrange them by color, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I'd say that this is definitely a more manageable amount, and now we can see everything that we have from Lethal, and it's a rainbow. It's color coded. It's beautiful. Let's decide what we're going to do with the ones that we are getting rid of, because there's quite a few. So I ended decluttering 25 singles, which is kind of crazy. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. So let's kind of create a color story with them and just put them in a place where they'll be safe and we can find them a new home. Okay, so that's one of the color stories that I'm going to have listed on my Mercari. I definitely tried to be as careful as possible, but I will say depotting is hard. None of them come out completely unscathed. There are definitely a couple bumps in some of these, but overall, it's not bad. Okay, and here's the other color story that I'm going to be decluttering. We have one that didn't fit in the palette. This actually turned out a lot better than I thought. And this one technically isn't a duplicate. We're going to keep it because I did like it. And we're just going to move it into the other palette. We managed to get all those colors organized and looking good. And we are decluttering these ones, which are still gorgeous, but some of them are duplicates. I have 3 of this color. 3. So we obviously don't need 3 of one color. So I will have these listed on my Mercari. Lethal is a indie brand out of Germany, if you didn't know, and it is an amazing brand. So they're awesome. And this is my first time actually depotting palettes like this and organizing them, and it felt nice. It felt nice to get rid of some that I knew I just had duplicates of, and I'm glad that some are going to find happy homes. And now I'm glad I have them all in one spot too, because it's going to be so much easier to use them instead of having them in 8 different palettes. And then we still have these 3 as well. I'm considering taking them out of this one. These are, again, all of the multi-chromes that I have and a couple of the charity colors that they came out with, which are really, really pretty. But I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to sleep on it. I am just excited that we have it all organized. It looks so, so nice. So I'm excited for that. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.